Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon. Good morning and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in great spirits, as it should. All right. We got some things to talk about, a few things to talk about. Okay. We got a little bit of a shorter show today. But there's a bunch of things that I do want to talk to you guys about. And we got to get into it, shall we? Okay. But before we get into all of this, okay, do me a favor. All right. Simple things. All right. Again, there's some very interesting stuff. More and more stuff keeps coming out. Suge Knight spoke out. So we are going to be talking about that. I mean, I did cover a chunk of it on my pop-up video on my second channel. But I want to watch it in its entirety with you guys. Of course, there's a lot of other pieces of information that I think is very interesting from other people that were in Diddy's camp. More stuff from Gene Deal we're going to be looking at as well. We're talking about politicians maybe being involved in all that stuff. It's absolutely crazy, okay? Absolutely crazy. So do me a favor, before we get into everything, hit that like button down below. Crush it. Do what it do. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you're watching on these other platforms, make sure you hit the hearts and all that down below. That'd be greatly appreciated as well, because we got some things we're gonna be jumping into and talking about here. Don't forget, hit that follow button. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, X/Twitter. I'm on all those platforms, so show some love over there. Hit that hit that subscribe button here on my main channel. Go over to my second channel, the Pascal Show Clips. Got a lot of stuff. Like I said, every morning I'm dropping like at least 2 videos before we go live on this main channel over there, so you get kind of an idea of what I'm about to talk about and all that stuff, in a shorter format type of way. So please go to the second channel, the Pascal Show Clips, and subscribe to that channel. Okay, make sure you subscribe here though too. Hit that join button down below, become a member, support if you can. And of course, do not forget, check out my Patreon, patreon.com/The Pascal Show, if you want to support any further. And check out my merch page, pascalmerch.com. Okay, guys, we got to get straight into it, okay? We got to get straight into some things. Now, obviously, we have been on Diddy Watch for quite some time now, okay? There's been a lot of information just dropping out of the sky. There's been so many things going on. We're trying to catch up. There's things that have been talked about 9, 10, even a whole year ago that have been that I'm even still trying to play catch up on. It is overwhelming. Let's just be completely honest. I mean, this Diddy conversation, him being incarcerated, or actually him in jail right now, facing some very serious charges, it's crazy how much catch up and how many things are actually resurfacing that are not only just interviews by him, but by other friends of his, other people that have gone to his white parties or his parties in general. I mean, it's really, really bad to say the least. Okay. But it's overwhelming. And I'm doing everything I can to catch up as best as I can, because like I said, there's a new story popping off about Diddy almost every day. It seems like almost every second. It's wild, okay? But we are here to do as much catch up as we can, right? But there's some new stuff that's been dropping off, which, I think is kind of ridiculous, which we are going to talk about here in a second, because it's like a little small conversation. We're going to talk about that. One of these things in a second. His lawyer speaks out talking about the baby oil, which is ridiculous. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a second, of course. But there's been a few things that, of course, I'm just going to do a quick recap from this morning that we talked about on the second show. Not only did Suge Knight speak out, which we are going to watch the entire thing, the whole video here in just a little bit. But the family, his kids, Kim Porter and Diddy's kids, spoke out. And of course, I said this in the other video. It's on the second channel, but I do want to share this with you guys anyway, so you guys can see it here. Okay. I mean, they spoke out. And the thing is they claim that there's no foul play with their mother's demise. They say that the book, this very book right here, is fake, that it's false. In fact, they're saying it's hurtful and false. Okay. With these rumors that are circulating around their mother, they even say our parents, which, by the way, I mean, it's one thing to protect Kim Porter. It's another thing to try to protect a monster like Diddy. Now, could it be Stockholm Syndrome? I don't know. It could be one of those cases of Stockholm Syndrome. Could it be denial? Because never underestimate the power of denial. That's a possibility as well. But at the same time, there is so much going on here with Diddy and the allegations and the crazy amounts of lawsuits that have been piled up against him. These kids really can't be looking at this and just saying, yeah, my dad's innocent. I just don't see it. I just don't see it personally. You got, again, the kids basically saying like, hey, you know, the claims that this book even exists, the claims that are said in this book are simply untrue. Okay. She did not, and anyone claiming to have a manuscript is misrepresenting themselves. Now, again, you know, like I said, this is just weird. Okay. Because let's be real. Do you really think that all the kids are going to know that she's writing a book if she's writing that on the low? Think about that for a second. If she's writing this on the low, how would they know? If she's worried about her own safety, just saying this out loud. I mean, I don't think this is real. I just don't think this is real. I've come to that conclusion now. I think this is fan fiction. And I know there's going to be other people out here that don't agree with me. Some people are going to be like, nah, man, this is real. This is real. I just don't think this is real. Solely because of the information that we heard from the guy who actually dropped this video or dropped this book. Now, there is a video where he's actually getting interviewed by a particular Mark Lamont Hill. Okay, he just did an interview, which we will be watching later on this evening, or in a couple of hours. I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a recap, catch up with you guys on the things that we talked about this morning, and then there's more. Okay, there's an interview done by Mark Lamont Hill where he gets interviewed, or he interviews the guy who who's the distributor of this book, who claims he got this thumbnail or thumb drive from somebody. Okay. And then they said, hey, put this out. So then what did he do? Apparently he bought it too. He didn't confirm or deny. He said no comment. But I'm alleging he bought it. He spent some serious ducats on a thumb drive that he has no idea where it came from, who actually wrote the doggone thing or anything of that sort. And then he went ahead, put this whole thing together, put it in margins and all that stuff to make it 59 pages, and sold it on eBay and said, this is from her voice. This is from her own words. This is from her own diary. But when asked about it, and if you go to my second channel and you see the video that I talk about this, when asked about, hey, he says, if my feet were put to the fire and I had to sit here and tell you that this is her or not, I can't answer that. I have no idea. Can't tell you if it's real. But I figured might as well put it out there because maybe it'll get people starting to talk. And it clearly is getting people to talk, but not in a good way. Now the dude's about to look at several lawsuits because of the names that are being mentioned in this book. Like I said, even the likes of Nancy Grace, okay, even had the book in her possession as well. She even has it in the thumbnail. She's holding it like this. She's holding it like one of these things, like, okay, on her thumbnail. Okay. Everybody got their hands on this book. And everyone's deep diving and dissecting the mother-loving ish out of it, of course. But when you have the person putting it out, the distributor saying, don't know if it's real, just figured, might as well put it out. Maybe 80% of it's real. Maybe 100% of it's real. I said, wait a second. What if none of it is real? Real talk. What if none of it is real? It's just some fabricated piece of trash that a guy just forked over a crap ton of money to get his hands on whatever was contained in that thumb drive. Think about that for a second. Think about that. But now you got this going on. The family, the kids speaking out and basically saying, like, she did not write a book. She did not have any plans on writing a book. Now, again, I will say this too. Kids can be in serious denial. There could very well be a book out there. She could have very well written a diary, for sure, that no one else knows about. Like I said, do you really think she's going to go tell her kids, yeah, kids, I'm writing a diary about your daddy. Don't tell him, though. Shh, wink, wink. You really think she's going to tell them if she really thinks it's life or death? Real talk, think about it. She ain't going to tell nobody. Maybe a close friend that she can trust, or somebody who she's going to send it to if something bad happens to her. If something was to happen to me, this is where you can get this thumb drive, or this is where you can go and get the diary. So you can put this stuff out there and expose this man's nasty years. But you really think she's going to go tell the kids? Hell no. I don't think so. So in other words, we're back at square one. We don't have an answer. You see what I'm saying? All we have is that this book is potentially fake, and that we don't know for sure if she wrote a book or not. And that is one thing, unfortunately, this might be a thing that we'll never get an answer to. Think about that for a second. Maybe the story, the book, also the truth about everything went to the grave with her. And all we can rely on are the people that are speaking out right now, like Cassie and the slew of other women and men that have spoken out thus far. Like I said, as far as her account, that may be down in the drain. That may have gone with her, which sucks. But at the same time, first of all, the kids didn't come together and pen this together, okay? They gave it to some PR agent. They had the PR agent write it, and they wrote it, and then they posted it. Let's be real. They posted that. And maybe some of the kids know some things that they don't want to put out there right now. Maybe that's the case. But then again, they may not know a damn thing. It's just something to think about, something to talk about, and something to consider. For right now, I have been side-eyeing the book, and I'm going, ugh. Like I said, tonight, or in a couple hours, we will be watching the interview with the guy. Okay, that's one of the other reasons why I wanted to hop on this live, to give you guys this information. Not only just this information, because there's more I'm going to give you guys here in a second, but just a quick recap of what was dropped late last night, early this morning, if I'm correct. But he also, the guy who distributed this book, came out, and we see him in the flesh, and he's getting an interview, and he's talking about all this stuff. And I just said, wow, that's so bad, because you can't even a lot of what you're saying is sus. Not only the fact that he put this thing out, it's also the fact that how he obtained the material. It was a thumb drive. He received the thumb drive. He dropped whatever money he could drop, allegedly, to get this thumb drive. God knows what could have been on this thumb drive. Person could have been like, yeah, in here is, all the crypto you can think of. All you got to give me is a couple grand or something like that, right? He doesn't know what's on that freaking thumb drive. So he opens up the thumb drive and there's a book. Don't know who it came from. Says her name on it. But anyone could have sat down and wrote this. This is 59 pages. In fact, he said it was like 49 pages of just regular written page, right? On a computer. It's 49 pages. I'm not sitting here saying that it's easy to write. It's not easy to write, but you can sit down and fabricate this. I mean, the writing in here is very diary-esque. It's not like she's sitting there going, he's, sipping on a nice Chianti as he looks out into the landscape of the world. You know what I mean? It's not all super flowery language or anything like that. It's just like, I went here. I did this. We bumped uglies. We smashed here. I slept with her. He slept with him. You see what I'm saying? It's very much like that. So you can sit down and knock this thing out fairly decently if you had a tiny bit of time. And yet, yes, Wanda Young, it is a #1 bestseller right now. And we all could be hoodwinked, bamboozled, run astray by this 59-page book. So, again, I got questions. Shoot, Jada Pinkett Smith's book had more adjectives. You know what I mean? But like I said, she had time to write that book, right? This person suddenly got this thing. He's like, bang, 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 knocking it out as quickly as he can. I mean, maybe it was him. Maybe it's not. Maybe he got hoodwinked too, right? Maybe he really did drop some money on a thumb drive, and then that's what he got, and he believes that is her writing. Maybe. And now he's just trying to re-up, right? Recoup on his investment, right? And right now, like I said, it's getting terrible reviews, and some people are trying to have been getting their money back, but it's getting terrible reviews. This is getting panned because of how I feel. It's because of how rudimentary the diary is. And I think a lot of people did exactly what I did. You're reading, then you get into 5 pages in, you go, wait a second, that can't be real. And say, what? No. Now you just took me out of the book. If you're instantly doing that, that tells you something. Now, I know a lot of other people are reading this and they're going, oh my word, every single page is just oozing with drama. Oh my God, is this overflowing with spillage of tea? And I look at this and I go, I see a lot of question marks. How much of this is true? Like I said, okay, there is a moment that is so jacked up in here that it almost seems like Diddy is literally twirling his mustache and saying, I'm diabolical, I will take over the world. Like, it's very much like that. And I'm like, did Tyler Perry write this? I'm just saying, did he though? Did he not? Did he not? I mean, hold on. I think I read this to you guys before. I may not have. But it's a moment where he just story time, guys. Very impromptu story time, okay? Okay. Story time. Let's get into this. This is crazy. Like I said, it's very. Imagine him standing here Let me paint the room for you guys, okay? Let me paint the room. All right. So imagine Diddy's in her, I think it's in her kitchen, if I'm correct. He attacks her, right? Like throws her on the ground or does something like that, right? And then he puts a pew-pew on a table. He slams it on the table after he just attacked her, right? Remember that. So my voice quivered as I pled to him, Sean, please stop. Quincy is here. So she says here, how did we get here? How did we get to the point that he was in my living room? Sorry, living room, not kitchen, but living room, threatening me with a weapon. Got to use these code words. He knelt on one knee, got right in my face to say, you're mine. You don't have a choice in that now. I can't live without you. He stood up, composing himself. I was terrified as I whimpered, Sean, that's not love. Sean picked up his weapon and cocked it. He looked at me almost thoughtfully and asked, have you ever heard if I can't have you, no one can? She says, Sean, please don't. Please. Quincy will hear. Sean smiled, and then he put the actual weapon away. And he goes, oh, this is just for dramatic effect. I would never pull the trigger on you. If I was going to unalive you, no one will trace it to me. You know how people, you know how many people I've had take, you know how many people I've had to take care of over the years? It would be quiet. Something in your food or drink. Something they'll never get back to me. I wouldn't shoot you. Do you understand? I could only nod, tears flowing down my face. He looked at me thoughtfully as he reached down to help me up. I could do nothing but agree. He's a terrifying monster. Now, when you read something like that, are you automatically seeing him go diabolical? You'll find something in your food, something in your drink. It will never come back to me. Ah. You know what I'm saying? It just seems a bit Tyler Perry-esque. I'm sorry, I said it. But it feels but I'm telling you, I read that and I said, I did this again. Is this real? This feels so fake. This feels forced. It feels forced. That's just it. But at the same time, maybe Diddy did go up to her and say something like that. I don't know. But we're getting it distributed by a man by the name of Jamal T. Millwood. Oh, I forgot. That's not actually his real name. In fact, his name is Chris Todd. And he's actually now going, where's my accolades? Where's my call from CAA? Where's my agent? Where's my money? Where are my interviews? That's what he's saying right now. So instead of him actually putting this stuff out here for the betterment and to get her lost words out to everybody, right? He's more concerned about the fame and the fortune and the possible power and the attention that he could get from distributing this book. But then at the same time, I keep wondering, if you had such desires of fame and acknowledgement for being so brave to put out this book, why didn't this just say Chris Todd underneath? Asking for a friend. Moving on. Like I said, we're going to be checking out that interview because the interview, you can even see it in the interviewer's face, Mark Lamont Hill, which shout out to Mark Lamont Hill, okay, for having the interview. But you could see it even in his face that he's just like, who is this mother lover? Like you could tell he just ain't even feeling it, okay? It's like, once again, another lie. This is a lie. So for me, I look at that and I go, I don't know. It's like, where are my movie offers for movies? Where's Hollywood calling me? It's like, wow, we really live in that kind of world. And in fact, we really live in that kind of world, fam. We really do. And it's sad and disgusting. I know we all got to make money. I know it's hard out here in these streets. We're all trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, but at the same time, do it righteously. Okay? I don't think this book is real, guys. And I got real hype about this book, but then I started reading it. And then I started using my brain. And if you've read a book, which I'm sure all of you are literate, I'm assuming. You've read some books in your past. You've read some memoirs and some diaries and so on and so forth. You ain't never read something like this before. I'm sorry. Not like this. And then I look at this too and I go, I don't think Kim Porter would write in this type of way as well. I just don't. She seems to be, from what I understand in the interviews that we've seen and how she speaks and all that, she comes off a lot more intelligent than this writing. And that's just me. And I'm talking about the writing itself, the writing, not her as a person. And, you know, she's clearly an intelligent individual, but I'm just saying the writing in this book itself is so rudimentary that I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know. If she knew this was going to be out here for people to read, would she really write it like this? And I said this on another show, on the pop-up video on my second channel. By the way, please subscribe to my second channel, okay? The Pascal Show Clips, just a reminder, the Pascal Show Clips, because we've been dropping videos like crazy over there and getting some serious traction over there. So please show some love, please, and thank you. But I did talk about this too, and I don't know if anybody else read this book, but I'm going to talk about it here. And maybe I'm a nerd. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I don't care. It's a book called Go Ask Alice. I read it when I was in, grade school, then read it again, I think like in junior high or something like that. It was like late grade school, like going into junior high. And then I read it again. In high school, right? And because I just wanted to, you know, take a trip down memory lane. Literally, I'm rereading. I'm rereading. Why am I forgetting the name of the book right now? Of Mice and Men. I'm literally rereading Of Mice and Men right now. It's, you know, literally, I just kind of reread books that I, because, you know, you just want to remember certain things, and it's good literature. Anyway, I reread the book, and then so randomly a couple months back, it circled back in my head again, and I was like, wow, you know, I haven't read Go Ask Alice in a long time. And it's literally a diary of a woman or of a girl who is fighting addiction. Like when she first gets introduced to the substance of her choice, and then of course the downward spiral into addiction. That's what the diary, it's a book, and they say it's a diary. Back in the day, they literally put it out there and marketed it as a diary, only to find out years later that the whole thing was fabricated, that the whole thing was fake, that it was just some author that had a great idea. And then they said, oh, we're going to market it to the kids and to the people that it's a book that's really a diary, but that was randomly found. And it's by anonymous. So it's only called Alice, but you don't know who actually wrote it. Only the person actually was on Earth, and we found out that person was an old woman that just wrote this book, had an idea, right? So I look at this and I go, could it be that kind of same thing? Because the funny thing is the same person who wrote Go Ask Alice wrote another diary type of book. Same type of format, same type of theme. But it was in the perspective of a boy falling into like some sort of neo-Nazi hate group of some sort, like some extreme radical group. That literally is another book written by the same person that wrote Go Ask Alice. All of it was fake, but they marketed it back in the day as such. Pretty crazy, right? So when I read this, I was like, this is screaming Go Ask Alice to me. I don't know why. And that's why I feel like this is not real. Now, here's the thing. Ash, I see you saying that over and over and over again. I just showed that. Unless they said something new. Did they say something else new? Because I just showed a statement made by the kids right here. Let me throw this up one more time so you guys can see it, because we got to keep it moving. But it's right here. So, Ash, if you're talking about this, this is what I'm talking about. Okay? So, no, and I'm not talking about the Diary of Anne Frank or anything like that. That's a real book. Okay? That's a real diary. The Go Ask Alice is fake. Just look it up. Do yourself Google. Go into the Googles. Look it up. It's pretty crazy, right? But moving on. That's why, everybody and their mama still talking about this book and asking about things. And of course, understandably, this book is questionable. Very questionable. And I just think she would not write like this. That's just me, though. That's just me. Okay? I mean, shoot, like I said, I'm reading like 3 different books all at the same time. Man, I'm finishing up Stephen King's Pet Sematary right now as we speak. Okay? Trying to get into the Halloween mood. Okay? You feel me? All right? I'm a Stephen King fan. So like I said, I like books. When I get a chance to read them, okay? I like books. So let us continue, okay? Let me get some of these super chats really quick. Jasmine, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate the support. Jasmine, again, bless you for doing the deep dive for us during this Diddler scandal. Yes, well, we ain't done yet. I got some more content for you guys coming up. Nicely produced, pre-recorded stuff that I'm working on right now as we speak. Literally got the script in my hand as we speak. I'm not kidding. I'm not going to show it to you. But yeah, got the script in my hand. F it. Okay. You can't even see it. Dang. But there's words. There's a lot of words. Pages and pages of words. So I'm working on some new stuff for you guys, and I'm really looking forward to it. Case. Hopefully I'm saying that right. We got Cassie. We don't need Kim for this. R.I.P. Kim. You know what? You ain't wrong. And the thing is as soon as for a fact, Cassie's still going to drop that book. She's going to drop that book. Remember, she was going to drop a memoir of her own, and she said, "Diddy, give me your money. Give me 30 mil or this book drops." And he said, "Hell no." So then she said, "F it. I'm suing you. I'm going to make this public." And then, of course, where are we at right now? Right? Where's he at right now? He's in jail. Allegedly on a hunger strike or some stupid ish like that. But anyway, let's get into this, guys, because one of the main things I do want to share with you guys, Suge Knight calls out a lot of people, okay, in this phone conversation, this phone interview that he had with Cuomo. Just pulling this up.
For people who have...
Hold on. So I reacted to a chunk of it on the second channel. We're going to watch it in its entirety on this channel, okay? But definitely go check it out on my second channel. Like I said, you're going to get a lot of stuff over there on the second channel and short formatted stuff, short and sweet and to the point, okay? But he calls out Jay-Z. I mean, he calls T.I. He calls out so many different people on this phone call interview that he has with Cuomo on News Nation. We got to take a look at this. To me, this is crazy. And also, who be Tubby? One other thing I do want to point out before we continue, he talks about littles. That this guy Tubby would go out and get littles for these parties. Remember, no minors have been spoken about or brought up in this case yet. But I have a feeling more's coming. But who the F is Tubby? Let's enjoy.
For people who have done a little bit of homework and know who you are, why should they believe you about what you think and feel about Sean Diddy Combs and any allegations against him, given your history of animosity with him.
Well, first of all, I'm not calling you or nobody else to get nobody to believe anything regarding him. Like I said, and I always say, me personally, I don't jump up and down and cheer for no black man going to prison or any other man, any other human being going to prison.
True. I don't think anybody should be around here jumping up and down when a black man gets thrown into jail, period. But I have to say this, though. I'm going to jump up and down when you have a monster like Diddy being thrown in jail. Okay, I'm going to jump in, and here it is. Monsters, evil wears many faces. It's you could be female, male, you could be any race under the sun, any affiliation, any religious background. It don't matter. Evil wears many, 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 many faces. So when he gets locked up and he's away from harassing, torturing, all the things that he's done, okay, I'm jumping up and down. And see, this is the thing that really aggravates me too. Okay, right off the bat in the very beginning, it's y'all just trying to take the black man down. No. If you understand the information that's coming out here, we need to protect our black people. We need to protect our people in general. This is beyond that. This man did this to more than just black people too. There's women and men of all kinds stepping forward, of all racial backgrounds stepping forward. Like I said before, this man is mainstream. He is a household name. Some of his best friends were Ashton Kutcher and Leonardo DiCaprio. Are they black? No, last I checked, they be of the Caucasus Mountains. So explain that to me. Taking a black man down. Nah. This ish right here, when you got feds saying that they caught him red-handed and on his countless videos, no. We're taking a monster down. And we're rejoicing because of that. Let's continue on.
Because people think prison is always the answer. I'm not saying a lot of people don't deserve to do their time and see what's going on. But at the same time, that's not no cheerful thing, because when you look at it, that man have kids. Mm-hmm. And whatever affects him definitely affects his kids. Mm-hmm. And I know there's a lot of victims involved in it, and whatever affects them affects their kids. So it's not a good thing to be talking about any shit about the next person. But it's not a gray area with me. And at the same time, Puffy didn't react or get where he got or doing those things or those allegations by himself. He was taught from people before him, and he did it to the younger people after him.
Now, here's the thing. This is very important information, I believe. What Suge Knight is saying is not a far-fetched point. That Diddy learned this from somewhere. Oh my God, this keeps coming back. It's all coming back to me now. It's coming back to me now again. Why? Because this is something that we've heard 1 trillion times before. I have to. Because I have to. All right? Hold on. We have talked about this ad nauseum. I've played this for you guys before, and I'm telling you guys need to go check out my full interview with Jennifer Lewis. She even says it herself. Hold on. We'll come back to this. I want to hear your thoughts on this whole scandal, all of the allegations, these lawsuits that are coming after Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs. I'm curious about that.
I don't know Diddy, Puff Daddy. I don't know anything about this.
You've never?
No.
You've never met him?
I know who he is. I have met him.
Okay.
I met him at, I think, the Essence Award. I don't know him. What I do know
What do you know?
is that video
Yeah.
that I saw of him grabbing her hair, throwing her down, stomping her, and literally throwing his leg back to kick her. Well, now, that is madness.
That says it all, right?
No, that's sick. That's mental illness. That's all of it. I'm not here to judge anybody, but I know that that's wrong. Hateful, evil, sick, but more than all of that, sad. Because somebody had to done it to him.
Because somebody had to have done it to him. This is from the great, the queen, Jennifer Lewis, okay? Of Blackish, of all kinds of TV shows, movies, and theater as well, okay? Stage, movies, TV shows. You name it, she's been in it, okay? Very talented individual. Had an interview with her. She talks about that even further in my interview with her. Go check it out. It's on the main channel. Okay, it's an exclusive interview. I've interviewed her twice. Another time we did an interview, she went viral with my conversation with her because of her thoughts on Kanye West. Now, some of you guys may know about that Kanye West clip where she says he needs to shut the F up and that she was very concerned about him, kind of thing. We had a great conversation on this again, too. Okay? Now, here's the thing. I want to make this abundantly clear. She ain't wrong. And now we're hearing Suge Knight say the same thing. That, hey, he learned it from somewhere, y'all. This dude learned it from somewhere. Who did he learn it from? Now, I already know there's going to be a slew of people going, Clive Davis and Andre Harrell, and there's going to be names for sure. Everyone's going to be putting out their assumptions and all that. But at the same time, you never know. May not have been Clive. May not have been Andre. Could have been somebody else within the system, within the entertainment business. But it's disturbing to think that there is a dark underbelly of Hollywood. And if you get in the wrong place and you schmooze with the wrong people, you could get locked up and grabbed and dragged into this thing and have a hard time getting out. Now, here's the thing, though, too. I'm not condoning his behavior. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Thank God he's getting locked up. Thank God he's getting what he's getting. Okay? But if there are other people involved, and if he learned those things from other people, and he witnessed those people breaking laws at the despair of other innocent lives, I hope he speaks up so that those people get the justice served to them as quickly as possible before they perish off of this planet. Think about that for a second, because some of these mother lovers are old. How old is Diddy right now? He learned it from somebody. They might have been around his same age, or they might have been older than him. Think about that. So again, hopefully they're getting these he's talking. And I think he's going to. He's got to. It's inevitable. But let's get back to Suge Knight's interview, okay? I apologize, but I just wanted to show that to you again. She even said it herself. Because it's a generational thing, right? It can be. And clearly, this generational situation is not like he was learning it. Maybe he wasn't learning it from home. He was learning it from somewhere in the system. And it just gets passed down from one generation to the next, to the next, to the next. And what's terrifying is if he was also teaching other people on the up and up how to do these things as well. Think about that too. Ain't that some terrifying-ish? Let's continue to...
for people who have done a little bit of...
Let's continue to we're going to roll it back just a tiny bit, but let's get back to Suge Knight and Diddy. But think about that, guys, because it's almost like an epidemic, right? It's almost like this contagious disease that gets passed on and on and on and on. At some point, it's got to stop, right? Some point, the cycle has to stop. The learning part of it has to stop. Hopefully, it stops with him. But he's been around long enough, and other people have been around long enough to see these kinds of parties and how they're done, that they could try to do their own versions of these things as well. Like I said, it's infectious, and that can be very dangerous. Let's continue on.
Person, but it's not a gray area with me. And at the same time, Puffy didn't react or think where he got or doing those things or those allegations by himself. He was taught from people before him, and he did it to the younger people after him. And we can talk all day and say what's true, what's not true. Only true part about it is videos, conversations, and people can see what they've done. Mm-hmm. But for it being happy and proud and say, what do people think? That's irrelevant.
So, Suge.
It's just like I heard earlier today when Ray J was talking to TMZ. Mm-hmm. I got love for Harvey, but I see Charles always got something negative to say when it comes to West Coast people. And Charles tried to make a reference to say that, how do I feel when I'm in prison? Yeah, I'm in prison. I guarantee you I'm free more than Charles. If I feel like sleeping to 5 o'clock, or I want to sleep 12 hours a day, I can.
Sure.
But besides all that, the fact is, it's not no competition who's going to talk the loudest or talk the best. It's not something positive that can help anybody. I don't get on no platforms unless it be something positive. If it ain't positive.
I understand what you're saying. I want you to try to make some positive points here.
Real quick, though, who is Charles? When he says Charles, who's Charles? That's the one thing I'm still trying to figure out. Maybe one of y'all knows. But let me know. Mimi, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Let's continue on. Maybe somebody knows. But who's this Charles that he's talking about? Let's continue.
I get what you're saying about TMZ, but that's not really my interest, as you might imagine. My interest is in what you can help people understand about these allegations that Diddy is facing and what you believe he's facing on the inside. Now, what's most interesting to me is that you seem to see Diddy as kind of an Epstein kind of figure. That Jeffrey Epstein, that a lot of people know what Diddy was about, and they were about the same thing, and that's why they're quiet. That's why J-Lo and Ben Affleck got divorced, because of videos that he has of her that now they know about. Where is this coming from with you? What do you believe about the people around Diddy and what everybody knows?
Quobo has been reading a lot of gossip columns. Woo!
Well, first of all, you got to start with at the top. If you're starting with the top, Clyde Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell, Jimmy Iovine. And even if you take Jimmy Iovine, he had an allegation from him, same thing, it went away. You take Jimmy Iovine. They told me at Universal and Interscope, they said, you know what? We can't deal with artists that gets in trouble. And your artist gets in trouble, they talk crazy.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Keep going, Suge.
They speak about what they see. Now, I was told that I can't do business there because of that. Now, Doug Morris gave Puffy a deal for millions of dollars. It flopped. So when you look at all these things and everybody want to say Puffy, 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 don't get me wrong. Yeah, Puffy stepped in this shit, and even if he wiped the shit off his shoe, it still stinks. But he's not the only one. They got all the tapes.
Now, when you talk about the tapes,
but this been going on for a long time.
Hold on, Suge.
No doubt. So he's saying, again, and this is the problem with like telephone interviews and how they're on like a short allotted amount of time and all that. But I mean, clearly, you know, all these people know something. That even goes with Russell Simmons. You know for a fact Russell Simmons knows something. He knows something. Same thing with Clive Davis. All those people, all those higher ups, like he was saying, he had to learn it from somebody. All those people were all in his wheelhouse. He was learning from the greats. Unfortunately, I have to say it like that, but you know what I mean. From big names, big people, highly successful individuals.
Understand, because a lot of this stuff is a little inside baseball for people, right? Because they don't live the life, they don't know the
This
world,
call
they don't know
and
the
your
players.
telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's just a recording from the prison that's just saying that they record it, which obviously they do. Suge, help people understand, what tapes are you talking about? Who has them? And what kinds of things do you think they show?
Well, number one, luckily, I wasn't their first choice, their second choice. I wasn't no choice to be at those freaky parties. But you know what they show. They used to have a thing in the industry, right? And the sad thing about it, I don't like mentioning Usher. I don't like mentioning Justin Bieber. I don't like mentioning all these people that everybody know what time it is. So at the same time, they used to have a joke. They never played this joke with me. And they used to walk in the Interscope office. They'll go back there and they'll be like, hey, we passed the test. I said, we haven't did the test. One dude said, well, don't say that in front of Mr. Knight because he's going to take it offensive and hurt somebody. I said, well, whatever it is, I probably will take it offensive when somebody will get their ass whooped. You know, that was me in those days. But they used to have these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test. They could take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in.
What? Did he just say that on News Nation? My word. What? I'm sorry. I know some of y'all are like, please don't play that again. I gotta play that again. What did he say about a hard-boiled egg? He said they take a hard-boiled egg. All right. He said a raw hard-boiled egg. You know. I'm sorry. It's like him saying, you know, you got some dry water. And it's like, oh my God. But he said a raw hard-boiled egg. And you stick it betwixt the cheeks. And if it cracks, he says they're not ready yet? Or did he say if it doesn't crack, they're not ready? Yeah, he said a raw hard-boiled egg. But he said, and then if it cracks, then they ain't ready yet. I'm sorry. I'm running that back. That he said that on News Nation. He said that on News Nation, y'all. What? Oh, golly. Suge Knight for the win today. A raw hard-boiled egg. That's a new one for me. Is it like a soft hard-boiled egg? You know what I mean? Where you crack it and you still have the yolk. You know what I mean? Never mind. Let's get into this. This is crazy. What did he just say?
A raw boiled egg.
No, we got to hear the full effect. Let's hear it one more time.
Had these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test.
Boiled egg
They
test.
take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in.
Goo.
This is Hollywood. So everybody want to go act like they don't know what's going on.
Hold on a second,
but
Suge.
if you just look. That's
Suge,
all you got to do.
I mean, you see what? Even Cuomo's like, wait a second, slow down, hold on, slow down real quick. We say what? You put what up the what? A raw hard-boiled egg, and if it cracks, they ain't ready. Say that. How do you know about this, man? What the hell? What the hell, man?
I have never heard of anything like that. So if I haven't heard about it, just assume a lot of people haven't heard that before. But you think it's on video?
Let's stop for a second.
Go ahead, Suge.
Yeah, listen, and also, have you ever been to any puffy parties?
No.
You see how quick Cuomo said no? You ever been to puffy parties? No. Hell no. I ain't never been to one of them doggone parties.
You sure they had a long time to think about it. But if you haven't been in those butt naked parties, even some of the preachers been in those parties, and they wasn't on their knees praying for God. See, they was praying for somebody to have come real quick or something. But I wasn't there, but there's proof of it. But at the same time, everybody want to look around and act like something going on that wasn't right. It's the facts of life in the industry.
This ish is wild. But this is Suge Knight, y'all. This is wild, man. Wow. He even said preachers being in there. He's not joking. He's not joking about the preachers and the politicians and all that. But he just, what in the hell is going on with this world? How does this even exist? Like, I get the part of, like, you know, him being successful and there'd be a lot of, you know, women draped all over him. I guess with him, there'd be a little bit of man's in there too. But at the same time, though, it's the crimes for me, dog. It's the crimes. But yeah, I'm never looking at an egg the same way again, though. I'm not looking at an egg the same way, though. And I like eggs, but now I can't eat them no more. Now I'm just gonna be smelling badussy. Just everything smelling like cat food in there. Oh, damn. Eggs, y'all. Eggs. But let's continue on. This is wild, though.
Not for the people who don't get in. So, everybody, you got to look at it like this. When you see a beautiful woman or you see a handsome man, and it was like that all their life, from elementary school to junior high school to high school, if they forced to go to college, right? They always knew they had something special about themselves. If you take some of the Hollywood executives or some artists, they might have been the ugly duckling for a long time before they had the teeth fix and lipsticks and nose fix, all the work done. Underneath, they still the young with no confidence because they've been that way all their fucking life. So all of a sudden, if you look at Puffy old pictures, don't look nothing like his new pictures. You know, shit, they didn't do everything.
But Suge, just because he has plastic surgery, all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you're wrong about rich people doing stuff to their face or whatever it is, but that's different than the allegations that are coming down on him.
I'm talking about rich people. I'm talking about the difference. I'm talking about, okay, look at it like this. I look at real plain and simple. Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him.
You're right. Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Now, here's the thing. This is just a snippet of the interview, right? I watched I played the second half of this interview on the second channel. So I recommend you guys going and checking out the second half of this interview. But he's dropping F-bombs in this, and he's like I said, he's saying ish, like he's cursing on here and all that stuff. I mean, they knew exactly what they were. News Nation knew exactly what was going to go down when they brought him onto the show. Okay, it's Suge Knight. You think he's really going to censor himself? He's calling in from prison. He don't care. He's just going to say what he needs to say. But he did say something that's very interesting near the end. Not only just about the eggs. Aside from the eggs, aside from the eggs, okay, he did talk about how they would prey on people who with low self-esteem. Now, that is a possible, I mean, that's a theory. Clearly, Suge Knight has had some time to think about these things. Like, okay, they were probably the ugly duckling in high school, but then they blossomed into a beautiful woman. But with the help of some plastic surgery, so on and so forth, they go from an 8 to a 10. Let's just say that, right? They move out to LA. They become part of the beautiful people. They are getting looked at by all these big names, popular names, very successful and rich individuals. So suddenly, they're feeling a little bit better about themselves. But that low self-esteem, the ugly duckling side of them, is still inside of them. Now, there's a possibility of that. And then somebody sees that, some nasty, horrific, monstrous individual can see that and go, hey, this is an opportunity to pounce on this and exploit that. So let's do it. And then next thing you know, you got a bevy of women at these parties, drinking all kinds of libations, doing whatever they can because they all also are hoping that they get a chance to say one line in a movie, right? Sing one song. Get that photo that shows up on Getty's Images. It's sad, but it's true. Now, that's not the only piece. You also got to remember there are people out here that are hungry. There are people out here that are willing to do whatever it takes to find stardom or find success because one, it's their dream, and two, they have a family to feed back at home. They're all living in a 2-bedroom house, type of thing, right? Living in poverty. Man, once I get on, I'm going to bring all my people with me. I'll be able to support my mom. I'll be able to pay for this, and this. We'll be able to do all this, that, and the third. And this person could have some serious raw talent. But at the same time, that's a dime a dozen in LA. That's a dime a dozen in Hollywood. And then you got these people like the Suge Knights and the Diddys that see the raw talent, but they also have somebody else that is maybe just as talented, maybe not as talented, but they have the full look going on. So they say, hey, I like that track, or I like that song, or I like that hook. Let me just get this and give it to J-Lo really quick because she's hot right now. And she J-Lo. You're just Sarah, right? So love the idea. Love the look, but I think I want to give this look to her because she'd look fire in that look. And we'll figure something out for you, AKA we'll bring you into some of these parties and you'll be one of the girls that wears black, not all white. You'll be one of the girls that wears black because you're one of the girls that ends up becoming a party favorite later on in the party. But if you do this for me, I'll make sure that next song is yours. And then what do? They do everything they can. Yeah, Sarah, poor Sarah. Sarah does everything she can because she's thinking, oh, I'm becoming part of the crew. He's calling me by my first name. He's calling me on my phone. He's asking me to be here. I'm standing right next to him and all this stuff. He's cheersing me and he's telling me what's good and blah, blah, blah. And he's talking to me about all this stuff. He's got his hand around my shoulder. He's got his hand around my back. He's making me feel like I'm somebody. And I'm just at the brink. I'm just there. I'm almost there. I'm sitting across from Ashton Kutcher and Leonardo DiCaprio and all these people, right? I'm so close. So yeah, let me wear this black dress. It's fine. No big deal. And then the after party happens. The real freak off starts happening. And next thing you know, you're a part of what? Hey, drink this, sniff this, smoke this. It'll make you feel better. Next thing you know, you're having one of the most nightmarish experiences of your life. But one thing I have to say about this with Suge Knight is, brother, if you knew about this, why didn't you say anything about it back in the day? Now, I know I'm saying this and asking this about Suge Knight. Let's be real. Suge Knight is very Suge Knight-ish, okay? But we're now starting to find out that Diddy's more Suge Knight than Suge Knight. But at the same time, Suge Knight is a dangerous man. People literally have looked at him and have called him the boogeyman because of how he was maneuvered out here in this music industry streets. He is a tyrant, vicious, and he doesn't take no for an answer. So sure, it makes no sense for me to ask him, well, why didn't you say something about this when you were around? If you knew about this stuff, why didn't you say something? I'm asking a criminal that question, right? But it does make you wonder, what the hell happened here? And again, Suge Knight is not the only other person that knows about this, that knows about these parties, that witnessed these parties, that saw that what went down. Why didn't anybody step forward and speak out ever in the decades-long freak-off parties that were held? Because you got to remember, there's hundreds of women and possible men, not just the male pros that were being bought to come in, go in there and to perform. I'm talking about all of them that were subjected to this type of ridiculous activity. Hundreds of women and possible men that are all out here that haven't said a damn thing yet. Don't even know about Sarah, for example. Don't even know about her. But she's out there. She just hasn't spoken up yet. But she's one of many that have been chewed up and spat right back out. And then they feel like they can't say anything because as soon as they say something, they look and sound crazy. Diddy didn't do that. You saying Diddy did that? Pfft, Diddy would never do that. You're crazy. You just want money. In fact, that's exactly what's going on with Thalia's Graves lawsuit. The Joseph Sherman is even saying, yeah, this is all money grab. This is just an opportunity for her to make some money. It's just a money grab. All of this is fake. She's lying, so on and so forth, right? Now, whether or not she's lying and whether she's telling the truth, I mean, I leave that up to the investigation and what they're doing as far as deep diving into this lawsuit. But I will say this, though. Didn't we hear that about Cassie? Didn't we hear that about the plethora of other women that have stepped forward saying that they were victims of Diddy? Didn't we hear, oh, this is just a witch hunt. They're just trying to make money, so on and so forth. So imagine the hundreds of other women that have been involved. Hundreds. Again, if he did this quite a bit over the decades, he had these freak-offs. It's not like he just did this once a year. I'm sure he did this a multitude of times over the years. And if he had a lot of women in there, you can say a good couple hundred of women have been chewed up and spat out by Diddy and his cohorts. So where are they now? And are any of these other women and possible men going to speak out? And I guess only time will tell with that, right? Only time will tell with that. Now, we got to get into this other thing too, which is interesting. Because this is an old video from about 5 months ago, but I did want to bring it up because I know that's kind of circulating right now. People are talking about this, saying that, that these parties did also have some top politicians Big names. He even talked about some preachers in there as well. TD Jakes. I'm sorry, swallowed up. So I think this is very interesting. Gene Deal, okay, back at it again with the art of dialogue, had a few things to say. And of course, he says, you know, of course, we're starting to hear about these disturbing details of Sean Diddy Combs' alleged criminal enterprise, okay, has cast suspicion on the scores of rich and powerful figures the hip-hop mogul surrounded himself for decades. And he surrounded himself with a lot of very powerful people. We already know this. This is Diddy we're talking about. In the other half of the video with Suge Knight, he talks about one of Diddy's good friends, one of his boys got arrested for something specific, like possession of, I think it was for STing, I think. And he says allegedly something about Barack Obama getting this guy out of prison, like just crazy stuff. And I'm like, wow. Like I said, if he's really that connected, some crazy stuff, guys. Some crazy, crazy stuff. But they say this article can reveal a former bodyguard for the disgraced music producer suggests politicians would be exposed for taking part in the producer's alleged FOs. Now, I got to share this video with you guys because, again, it's crazy. But shout out to the Art of Dialogue. Again, guys, this guy, that page is killing it with these interviews. Okay. He's getting all kinds of knowledge getting dropped. The huge bombshells dropped on his channel. So I highly recommend you guys going over to the Art of Dialogue on his YouTube channel. Show some love, subscribe, all that stuff. Okay. But before we get into it, please, guys, do not forget to hit that like button down below here too. Okay. Let's get it past where are we at? Let's get it past 1K. Let's get it far past 1K. All right. We're almost there. All right. A like don't cost a thing. It'd be really appreciated. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. We're almost at 145,000K right here on the main channel. Please go over to my secondary channel, okay? Because if all y'all went and subscribed to the secondary channel right now, we'd be at the goal of 10,000 subscribers. So please go to the secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Crush that subscribe button over there, please, and thank you, okay? And let's get into this video, shall we?
Gene Deal, happy to have you back on the platform, my guy.
Man, I'm happy to be here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be able to be in a platform like yours to give my opinion. You know, opinion is just like an asshole. Everybody got one. You know what I mean? You know, I give my opinion, and it seems to make a lot of people upset. You know, then a lot of people love my opinion. That's why you bring me on here. And I really appreciate that, brother. I just want to say this before we get started, Art, is that, you know, a lot of people think I came here to bring a black man down. And that's what I hear in the comments a whole lot.
Here we go again, right? And this is old. Just so you know, this is about 5 months old. But again, y'all, you got a situation where people are going, take a black man down. But it's funny because as soon as that video came out where he's putting his paws on Cassie, all those people who are sitting there like, everybody tried to take the black man down. Oh, never mind. Yeah, you can take him down. Go ahead and take him down. Everybody's doing that right now. Hollywood is shut the hell up. No one's talking except for a select few like Faison Love going, hey, when did getting nasty become a crime? And it's like, no, it's a crime. What he did. You're wrong. Shush your mouth, Faison. Okay, let's continue.
But it was nothing like that. You know, a black man didn't cuss a dead man's mother out. A black man didn't set his friends up and put them in a situation where they couldn't come home to their families no more. A black man didn't reach back and help the people that helped them make it up the ladder. It was Puffy. You know what I'm saying? I got tired of Puffy going on different platforms talking about how he loved the people that we was all with, how he loved the people that helped him, when in fact, none of that stuff was true. So my whole thing about it is, man, I appreciate your platform for letting me, voice my opinion. And like I said, opinions like an asshole. Some of these cats out here get paid for their asshole. I get paid to give my opinion.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, yeah, you just on here giving your opinion, man. I mean, you was one of the people that was real close to the situation, so why not?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So with that being said, right, the last interview me and you did was a day after the raid. And when you look at everything now, man, how you feel about everything? It's been like a week, you knowing Diddy, you being around Diddy. Could you ever imagine that his houses would get raided for sex trafficking?
Bro, you can't imagine no stuff like that. You understand? You can't think that, because back then he wasn't Brother Love. He was Puffy. All the way up until he became Diddy. So his behavior over the years has changed.
Now, I think this is important to hear too. Like, he says he went from Puff to Diddy, and before he was Brother Love, he was Puff, or he was Puffy. Then he became Diddy, right? And now he's Brother Love. So it's all been a progression in an evolution of, of Sean Combs. But at the same time, though, his appetites, his way of moving around here, I'm sure got more and more advanced as time went on. Let's not forget, addictions of any kind, even the S addiction, okay, can be something, all right, that starts very small, and then it can grow into something very, very extreme and very, very wild, right? And I think that it's like maybe the first version of the F off was very small, and then it just blew up because he became more and more obsessed with it, right? Remember, he's shooting these things like he's Martin Scorsese. So he clearly is looking at it like this is his art, which is also insane too. But let's continue on, though. Oh, and real quick, somebody asked, how can I become a member like Uncovered Cube? Thank you so much. And Jasmine, welcome to the family. All you got to do is hit the join button down below. There's a join button. There's a button down below that says join written in blue. Okay. All you got to do is hit that join button down below, and you can become a member. Welcome to the family, you two. Thank you so much for becoming a member. But let's continue on. Like I said, it's like somebody who has an addiction towards a substance, right? They first try something, and then it eventually becomes an everyday thing, right? It's at first just once in a while, then it turns into every weekend, then it turns into every couple days, then those couple days become every week, and then all of a sudden it's every day, all day, every day. And that's just how it is. Now, when it comes to this, and with Puff, clearly he is the full embodiment, in my personal opinion, of addiction, of all kinds. Okay, I don't even think Keith Richards could keep up with this dude. That's what I think is how intense his use of these substances really are. And I'm sure every day is something different. Today it's a little X. The next day it's a little this. It's a little of that. It's a little pink powder. It's a little, you know what I mean? And I think he's just doing all kinds of different things all day, every day, which is crazy to me. I just don't know how people can function like that with that kind of stuff in their system all the time. Woo, it's crazy and dangerous.
And the behavior that he shows now, and that he has shown by being Brother Love, I couldn't imagine that the police would be raiding him for sex trafficking? Nah, bruh. I couldn't imagine that. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't him back then. He's a totally different person that he became. If you've seen him on other platforms, you know, inviting men to party with him, inviting men to go shopping with him. You understand? That wasn't Puffy. That wasn't Diddy. That was brother love and love.
How you feel about all the people that's wondering why haven't any of Diddy big name friends came out to defend him?
Because either two things that I believe. Either they know some of the stuff is true, either they took part in some of the stuff that happened, or they scared that it may mess up their brand. See, nobody wants to be in contact with anybody that allegedly was sex trafficking.
Now, let me just say this. He is absolutely 110% right. Look, all the people that have stepped forward and said things, okay, during this time, it was Cassie. There was a few other women that have stepped forward. I think during this time, of course, this was right after his homes were raided as well, which happened a couple months ago as well. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot, I'm sure, especially now. I don't know about if the video was out yet or not. I don't remember the timeline correctly, but regardless, you really think that anybody's going to step forward being like, yeah, I was out there. I had the time of my life. Like, you really think that they're going to be doing that? I really doubt it. They're not going to do that. People are going to stay quiet because they're like, no, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to lose this big deal that's coming up. I got a 3-picture deal with Marvel Studios coming up. So on and so forth. I can't talk about this. This could ruin my career. It's a damn shame, though, because for a fact there's some people here that have seen some things and they haven't said not a damn thing, and they should have a long time ago.
You see what the WWF did to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was one of those people that was called for sex trafficking. We don't hear a lot about it.
That's another thing. I need to put a poll because I'm wondering if you guys want me to do a deep dive into the Vince McMahon thing too, because that stuff is crazy as well. There's a documentary or Netflix documentary about to drop on that too, which is crazy. But again, Vince McMahon, allegedly a very dirty, dirty man.
Because he gave up the company, he did what he was supposed to do, and he became Ghost. But now you see they trying to do the same thing to Puffy. They trying to make him or hip-hop the face of sex trafficking like they was going to do the WWF at one time. Because that was a big story. So a lot of his people that know him, a lot of the people that been in those parties and seen probably some unscrupulous that went down and was like, ooh, I was there. I hope they don't got me on tape. They feeling a certain way. So they're not going to speak on nothing until they've been approached with something. You got to realize when Homeland Security get their evidence together, they're going to send agents out. You understand? They might send an agent out to me. Yo, what do you know? What have you heard? What have you seen? What's been going on? You know what I'm saying? Did this happen when you was around him? Did this happen back in the day? That's what they're going to want to know. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to send investigators out. They're going to send people out for anybody that they can get some information from to help their case. So those celebrities ain't going to say nothing. You got your man Stevie J speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ say that he never did this and he never did that. But ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exists. You know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who are his celebrity friends is going to speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
I think that the celebrities that may be worried is because what Lil Rob said. Lil Rob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, yo, bro, can you imagine? He had every room taped and bugged, and they found little bugs or little tape recorders. I mean, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man, all kind of crazy shit. Bruh, they just wondering who or when they're gonna let this stuff be known. If it's on videotape.
Yeah, man.
I mean, let's be real. I'm wondering. You know, he broke it down, and we all know about how crazy these parties have been. I mean, we clearly already know that, but it just makes me wonder. I mean, first off, I would love to get, man, if anybody has access to Gene Deal, okay, please let me know, because I'd really love to get him on the show. I would really like to get a conversation with this guy, and just pick his brain. Real talk. But with all that being said, I am kind of curious as to, like, if he, and this is the question I would ask him too, if he knew about all this stuff that was going on, why didn't he say anything back then? You see what I'm saying? But I don't know his full story, right? I don't know the full story with Gene, but I am kind of curious, right? He knows about all this stuff. And I don't know if, in some of it, I know he heard through the grapevine or heard through other people that worked with him. But I am kind of curious as to why, there wasn't anything said back then. If he saw crimes, that is, if there were crimes that were done that he saw, in person, I'm wondering why there wasn't anything ever, reported, and all that. But, like I said, I just got questions. I just got questions. Jaguar Wright would be fantastic to get on the show too, Debbie, on TikTok. Absolutely. Would love to get her on the show. That would be that would be a wild conversation for sure.
No, they got to be shook, man, after finding out he was recording everything.
But not only celebrities. I don't think it's only celebrities going to be shook.
Mm-mm.
He had politicians.
Politicians? Okay. Are we talking about some Bill Clintons, some Clintons? You know what I'm saying? We talking about that? We got some, you know what I mean? Who we talking about?
In there. He had princes in there.
Princes.
He also had a couple of preachers in there.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah indeed.
Hallelujah.
Wow. I got questions. You got he said politicians, preachers, and princes. I wonder who the princes are. Indeed. But that's interesting, y'all.
That's crazy.
You personally, you think they got tapes?
Well, my personal opinion that if Lil Rob could be trusted and his statements are true, they got him. They got tapes of stuff.
Now, one thing I do want to make abundantly clear is that yes, they did find tapes. So law enforcement, the feds, they got tapes. They already have that. We heard that in the press conference, in that huge bombshell press conference. They said they saw some things and some really incriminating things. Okay. I'm sure there are names in there. They're probably like, is that, you know what I mean? Wow. Is that really J-Lo in there? That's J-Lo. You know what I mean? God only knows what they saw, right? What they've seen. Because I'm sure however many videos, however many tapes they got in their possession, I'm sure they're going through every single last bit of them and combing through it all. Because you got to remember, if they see somebody's face in there, that's a name, they're going to bring that person in. It's not like they're not going to bring those people in. They're going to bring those people in and go, so we understand that you were a part of this party. If you don't believe us, let's just run the tape. Okay, no, I don't need to see it. What do you need to know? What do you need to know? I'll tell you anything, right? So I feel like that's going to be the situation that's going to be happening here, okay? Because on some real serious ish, I mean, come on. You really think that they're just going to let these celebrities, these politicians, all this stuff just be a part of these potential illegal activities and not bring any of them in? If they can make a name, if they can pick out a face, if they're like, oh, that's Denzel, boom, right? Oh, that's Jamie Foxx. Oh, that's such and such. That's such and such. That's such and such. Oh, that's Prince Harry. Whatever it may be, right? You don't think that they're going to sit there and bring them in and start questioning them immediately? So Hollywood should be scared right now. Absolutely scared. Politicians also should be terrified right now, because if they're on those tapes, they're about to get a rude awakening here very shortly. Nicole B, thank you so much. TD Jakes was sus for singing to Diddy at his birthday party. Wow, I forgot about that. He's so perverted. He doesn't see how weird that was. Yeah, that was weird. I've seen that video. That was weird. That was just weird. You know what I mean? It's like he didn't even go to somebody and say, you know, is this a good idea to do this? You know, sometimes you just need to check in with somebody, like a friend, and go, hey, I'm about to do this. You think it's a good idea? And if they're like, no, then don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Tired as a mother. Thank you so much. Preachers, JP Miller, were you there too? Nah, he would not be invited that kind of party. Trust and believe he would not. We next. Thank you so much. A lot of people about to go down for your from your politicians, past presidents, Hollywood weirdos, on down to some of the sports players. Absolutely, I agree with that too. There's going to be some names in this mug that are going to be like, I will be shocked. Like, some of these names, I'm sure, are going to be so shocking, you know? Like, you're going to be like, wow, Taylor Swift was at that part. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it was her, but I'm just saying it's going to be those kind of names that are so you never thought would be in those parties, because they're so wholesome. You know, their brand is so so clean and so wholesome that it's going to throw, like I said before, it's going to blow your wig back. You're going to be like, what? Somebody take a raw, hard-boiled egg and stick it up this man's booty. You know what I mean? Hamburger. Anyway, Jesse, thank you so much. The feds wouldn't have gone this far if they had a weak case. Hard facts. Hard facts, Jesse. And why would they even do a press conference if they didn't have hard facts, right? If they didn't have incriminating information? They've been going after this and working on this for a while now. Remember, they've been looking into this and deep diving into this since Cassie dropped her lawsuit, which was 9-10 months ago. Shoot, that's almost a year ago, coming up here soon. Pretty wild, right? But again, pretty wild stuff, guys. Pretty wild stuff. But I'm going to be back on in a couple hours, guys, because we got to check out this other video, where the writer or the distributor, we'll just use his name, use that title for right now. The distributor of this book did an interview, and I want to watch it with you guys because it is just something that we all should watch together, just to see the man and see him flap his gums and see what he got to say. I call cap on it all, but at the same time, I think it's very questionable, but I'll leave the decision up to you guys. We're going to watch it in a couple hours. Okay. So that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you. Again, please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms like TikTok. If you're watching on Facebook, X/Twitter, and Instagram, show some love and hit that reaction button over there too. Follow me on those platforms. Follow me on the TikTok. All right. Hit that subscribe button on my main channel right here on YouTube. Crush that subscribe button, but then also go to my secondary channel. Please, like right now, go over there. Go to my secondary channel. Okay, subscribe to that secondary channel, the Pascal Show clips. Okay, because there's gonna be a lot of bite-sized videos over there, that aren't an hour and a half or 2 hours long. So please go and check out that channel and subscribe over there. Hit that join button down below like a lot of you guys did. Welcome to the family, to the new members. I appreciate you guys, but still, become a member. Hit that join button down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you want to support the channel even further, go check out patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Go check it out. And of course, please check out pascalmerch.com. We got some really great t-shirts, really great hoodies, and all that. Go check it out. You're going to love it. You're going to love the stuff over there. We got some really cool Halloween-centric t-shirts available right now as we speak. So go check it out, okay? But anyway, guys, it's time to get going. I'll see you guys in a couple hours, okay? It's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.